50 Cent gets backlash for wanting to promote a Nigerian scammer, Hushpuppi. Guys, well, yesterday, 50 Cent posted this, right? Just after we heard that Hushpuppi was convicted. Guys, if you don't know who Hushpuppi is, let me just break it down for you. A Nigerian man who flaunted private jets and luxury cars on Instagram gets 11 years in prison for money laundering. A Nigerian social media influencer who flaunted a lavish lifestyle of private jets and luxury cars has been sentenced to 11 years in prison over charges related to a multi-million-dollar scam that targeted companies in the United States and overseas. Raymond Abbas, known to his millions of Instagram followers as Ray Hushpuppi, pleaded guilty in April last year to conspiracy to engage in money laundering. In addition to the prison sentence handed down on Monday, the United States District Judge Otis D. Wright II ordered him to pay $1.7 million in restitution to two fraud victims. So Hushpuppi apparently, I don't think they have the number here, but apparently had stolen over $100 million. Don't know the number here, but I actually did make a documentary on Hushpuppi on my other channel. I'll put the link down below. But he stole a lot of money. And he had this, lavish lifestyle on Instagram. And so now 50 Cent is claiming that he wants to make this into a series. So this is what 50 Cent posted when this was like all over the news yesterday. For my scammers, I gotta do this one. Hushpuppi series coming soon. GLG, Green Light Gang. I don't miss. So here's the thing about 50 Cent, right? And he doesn't get credit for how big of a TV producer executive that he is now. So he was on The Breakfast Club a few weeks ago, and he has about 26 shows in various stages of execution, from development to actually released. So he's this like TV, juggernaut, and he doesn't really get that much credit. But why doesn't he get that credit? Because he's promoting stories that, put black people in a terrible light. He's promoting stories of black people being scammers, being robbers, being degenerates. And I don't think, as great as that might, or as relatable as it might be to his lifestyle, it perpetuates bad images of black people. And this is exactly what the backlash is about. So, Nigerian author and influencer complained about 50 Cent, and he posted this: not impressed by 50 Cent's planned movie on Hushpuppi. It will further tank Nigeria's already battered image. Many positive things come out of Nigeria, like a doctor, the first man to successfully perform surgery on an unborn baby outside his mother's womb and restore it back into a mother's womb after the procedure. I heard about that procedure. It was fantastic. Do a movie about those. If 50 Cent really wants to do a movie about fraud, then he should consider doing one on Bernie Madoff, an American who stole $50 billion, thereby pulling off the biggest heist ever on earth. This is the point. Stop perpetuating these images of black people that present us as criminals, that present us as, drug dealers, that just degenerates. Stop promoting these images of black people. Stop trying to always fund these projects. And that's the point. That's the point. I think people are tired of it. I, for one, this was suggested to me a while ago that I should make something about this. I should write a script or make a documentary. And I did do a documentary on Hushpuppi, and I did dive into his perspective. But now that I just see how many films, especially Black stories. They want to talk about inclusion. They want to talk about diversity, but we're getting funded where, they're perpetuating these, terrible images of Black people that present us as criminals and all these things. This is how they want to present Black people, and media is very influential. Media, people watch that and they think, oh, Nigerians, think about it. If 50 Cent does a movie about a Nigerian scammer, it's going to be the biggest movie in the world. And what's that going to do? Everywhere a Nigerian goes, they're going to be like, oh, you're like the movie, the scammer. We don't want it. I know people want it, but people don't think about the repercussions. It's already bad enough, especially for men young men between, I think, the ages of 35 to, I think, about 18. When they travel to countries like Dubai, they get stopped. Their visas are denied. All these things are already happening because of some bad seeds. Why would we want to make this a mainstream Hollywood appealing movie that the world is going to watch and the world is going to say, oh, all Nigerians are scammers? We don't want it. There are so many great stories about Nigerians in the world. We want to see those. Promote those. But hey, there are people that do want this. Let's just acknowledge that. People do want this. People are going to promote this. People do want to support this. And I think when it comes down to it, as someone that works, in film, even though 50 Cent has said that he wants to greenlight or we should get this done, just because the movie goes into production, just because the movie is funded, doesn't mean the movie is going to be executed. It doesn't mean that. However, doesn't mean, that doesn't mean that. But I think if he really wants to get this movie done, he should partner with Mo Abudu. Not to give him advice, but he should partner with Mo Abudu. He should partner with like a local studio, and he should actually hire Nigerian actors. Like, I think I talked about this with the other movie. What was it called? The Woman King. We're tired of hearing these fake South African accents representing West Africa. They're like a mix of like South African and Kenyan and these like actors that have nothing to do with Western Africa. So if you're going to do it, have real Nigerian accents in these movies. If you're going to do this, just like in Afrobeats, when people, collaborated with Afrobeats artists, when they did these collaborations, they made sure they did them with Afrobeats artists. So if you're going to do this collaboration, this story that is authentic to Nigeria, make sure you hire Nigerian actors. We don't want to hear phony, fake, African accents. They're African accents, but they're just not from the western part of Africa. They're from Eastern Africa. They're from Southern Africa. We want to hear an authentic West African accent if you're going to do this. Hey, people want to watch this regardless of whatever I say. Even though I don't support this type of content, I probably will watch it, but I wouldn't personally want to make something like this myself, but I understand that people love this. I think crime is the biggest genre, especially in podcasts right now. 50 has a lot of crime shows, even podcasts and all that. So it makes sense that he would delve deep into this sector. And but people aren't liking it. Some people are not liking it. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think 50 Cent should make this movie? Do you think it's going to be a phenomenal movie? Or are you on Reno's side? Do you think that this is a terrible way to present not just Nigerians, but Black people in general? What are your thoughts? Because think about this. When you travel the world and you go to Dubai, when you go anywhere, and you're this Black person, they don't know if you're Nigerian or you're from Africa. They don't know the difference. They're going to see you and they're going to think, oh, he's probably a scammer, especially if you have money and jewels, right? Do we want this? Do we want this movie to continue, not even just perpetuate this stereotype, but to now elevate it and make it mainstream? Because if people think it's mainstream, it's not. This idea of Nigerians being a scammer, it's not mainstream. Like, people think this, but there's another level of celebridom that the impact of a movie does. The packaging, the marketing, the branding, the PR of a movie that pushes it in a different way that makes everybody talk about it. So right now you hear a Nigerian, some people could think scammer, Nigerian prince, But other people think Afrobeats, other people think food, other people think all these things. But a movie or a TV show like this coming out into the world, automatically people are just going to think Nigeria is synonymous with scammer. Not the best PR. So if 50 Cent does decide to do this, there should be a PR agenda that works to not present all Nigerians as scammers. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Yeah. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace and stream.